This is another 4-player fixed card game with blizzards. I'm red, the third player in this game. And looking to the troops distribution, I don't have a clear continent to go for. But I could possibly go for Australia, as then with me adding my troops to it, the white player would probably go for South America. But it looks like the yellow player is moving towards Australia, so I don't want it anymore. So now I could actually go for Europe with yellow moving his troops out, and with me thinking that nobody else would go for it either. Or I mean, obviously the continent in which I have the most of troops is North America, but honestly I don't think other players would like me to hold it, and certainly not the South American player for sure. So because of that I might intend to go for South America. I put some troops into it, so hopefully the white player goes for Australia. I specially captured a territory in Australia so to increase the chances that the white player goes for it, though unfortunately I've got a good blitz rule. So actually might not be appealing as much for white. And that's right, the white player went for South America. Probably taking into account that the yellow player is moving with his biggest army next to Australia too, while my 6-troop army on Central America didn't look as much threatening at all. And it probably didn't even let the white player understand that I intend to go for South America. He probably thinks that I wanted to capture North America. And maybe I will look like a noob here for intending to go for the continent in which I don't have any troops, but I'm wondering what happens if I try to appear more threatening by combining my armies into one bigger one in Central America. But from what it looks like, it didn't give a more serious effect on that at all, and the white player still added his troops on that army. But that at least should prevent the white player from capturing South America at least for some more turns. Though even if the white player crushes yellow's troops and I wipe him out, I'm still not sure if it was a great idea, because it could give an advantage to blue, and blue could wipe me out then from South America. So I don't know what to do. The intimidation tactic on the white player to make him think that I could be an aggressive low-rank player who wouldn't hesitate to foolishly crush troops didn't work. So I don't know, it might be worth a shot on capturing North America without leaving troops on the white player's border, so to show friendly intentions and expect him be friendly towards me as well without invading me into North America. But then obviously I would take South America from him after getting stronger with the right opportunity coming. So let's see what the white player actually does. And yeah, this is what I should have expected. But at least I gave it a try, I guess. Well, the white player was kinda a decisive factor on who doesn't get a continent, or at least not easily. With him adding his troops into South America, he became a problem for me, but if he had added his troops into Australia, then he would have been a problem for the yellow player. So yeah, it might have been a better idea to go for Europe, but who knows, the blue player ignored my alliance request as well, so might have attacked me too. And if I had gotten Europe, then I would have been in the middle separating both of the Americas from the rest of the world, so wouldn't have been promising as well. So unless if I had gotten some more troops, could have relocated myself into South America with wiping the white player out of it. So anyway, I was thinking what to do now, and considered playing super aggressively by trying to take the white player's troops down and might even invade him into South America if having left enough troops. But that would have been very unlikely for me to succeed in this situation at all, and I would have probably been very fastly eliminated from the game. And by seeing that the white player had a 10 troops set at 3 cards, it looks like I would have definitely been. So I'm glad that this time I decided to play reasonably, like I would play usually, instead of like making unnecessary risks or playing too aggressively when there's a low probability to succeed anyway. My biggest priority is just to survive now. I didn't get a continent, my position is terrible and I'm the weakest player in this game. Other players could get rid of me very easily, so as long as they want to. So I'm really in a surviving mode. I just hope that the blue player suddenly doesn't crush my troops in Europe before I move from it out, as it looks he intends to go for it, and then I really hope that the yellow player doesn't get mad that I will be building my troops on Asia. Otherwise, even with me trading an A set, the game could end for me very fast. As you see, I didn't really succeed with the beginning of the game stage, in which each player tries to assure a good position for himself. But as long as I survive, let's try our best, I guess. The white player just got 1 border Americas, and he will be receiving even 7 continental troops with 1 border to guard, so because of that, other players' attention might be on the white player. So maybe that will let me survive. But 1 border Americas are not a joke, so hopefully the blue player or so deals with the white player. Though he still keeps his troops in 3 different split armies, so I don't think he will intend to crush the white player's army. Anyway, when it comes to me, I only have 2 different continent choices where to put my troops to. And in this case, and with such blizzards, I will prioritize Asia over Europe. Like mentioned, Europe is probably the most center continent, which separates both of the sides with such blizzards, and probably where the most of attacks or action will be made. So as a barely surviving player, I would like to stay away from it. Probably neither white nor blue would like to see me there, while with me being in Australia, probably only the yellow player gets mad. Which is at the same time my ally, so might not be as much mad. Though I wouldn't be surprised if he wanted to eliminate me. That the white player would be balanced out with another player, I could probably move out from Asia to Europe, so to let the yellow player capture Asia, that he would be receiving around the same amount of troops as white. But the thing is that the blue player puts 1 of his armies in the territory of Middle East, which is a part of Asia anyway, so that actually wouldn't change much at all, and I would just put myself into a bigger risk if moving into Europe. And then another thing is, even though at first sight it might look differently, the white player is actually not that much of a threat to the game when you do the math. As all of us 3 combined get like 5 troops more from the continental and territorial troop bonus than the white player gets himself. And then if we also take into account cards and sets, is that in the same period of time the white player only trades in 1 set, while all of us 3 combined even 3. So where everything leads is that with current conditions on how the game is now, it's just impossible for the white player to surpass us the troop-wise and end up more having troops than all of us combining. With every turn he might be looking more strong when looking to each player individually, but when comparing him with all opponents combined, with every turn he will get weaker and weaker. So assuming the white player would think neither blue nor yellow straightly attacked him or so, it would have probably been the best idea for the white player to eliminate me last turn before me trading an A set. While it wouldn't have worth to take me out from my cards. Looking mathematically in the long term, it would have been a great decision, as it made all the players' bonuses combined amount much closer to the white player's 1, so if looking how it is now, it would been 12 troops of other players each turn instead of 15 next to the white player's 11 troops. And in the same period of time only 2 sets of other players would have been traded in, instead of 3, in comparison with white's 1. So when I stayed in the game, it doesn't help the white player at all. Though it could have been obviously a risk that with white player's army getting a bit more weaker, the blue and yellow players might have more seriously ganged up on him and made him eliminated. So it's worth to take the risk versus reward aspect as well. So yeah, as you can see, as long as the game is staying as it is now, it's impossible for the white player to win the game. What the white player needs to expect is that one or some of us will be dumb and make some attacks towards each other, or like if someone of us ends up disconnecting or quitting the game with the bot taking over, so there would be 1 fewer player for the white player to worry about, and the bot would probably even help him deal with us looking the position-wise. So unless the white player comes up with something good, it would probably be the best strategy for him to stay calm and wait till one of us quits the game out of boredom or so. I don't honestly see a better strategy for white. Might be a different story if all 3 of us showed the intentions to team up on him, but since we don't, I would say it would have been the best for the white player to stay calm and wait. As I was honestly getting bored of the game and might have quit, though I'm the weakest player, so it wouldn't have made as much impact as if either blue or yellow disconnected. As you can see, what the white player did is invaded the blue player into Africa, but unless he will be able to invade every turn without losing troops, or unless the blue player stops recapturing Africa or quits the game, I don't think it's a great idea, though the white player is thinking in the right direction. If wanting to attack someone, then it would been the best for him to rather get rid of me instead of crushing that blue's army, though on the other hand I prevent the yellow player from taking Asia, so because of that aspect it might be worth for the white player to keep me in the game. Well, depending on how the blue player would react on the yellow player taking Asia. But especially now when white made himself as an enemy to blue, the blue player probably be much more lenient towards the yellow player while wanting to attack white. But I guess he could have definitely tried taking me out instead of crushing one of the blue player's armies. As long as our combined bonuses value are bigger than white ones, it isn't beneficial for the white player to waste his troops on us, as eventually one of us, one of the least weakened players, will probably afford to break through his border. So most likely yellow now, as I'm weak without a continent, and the blue player was the one who got weakened by white. Anyway, as you can see, we just trapped the white player, and that is so nice to see. And now with the yellow player crushing one of his armies, it would be great that the blue player would do the same, and then I would waste some troops on the white player too. Actually, since the yellow player is the strongest, he could crush some more troops to get down to my and the blue player's troops level, so neither I nor blue would be doing the dirty work for him, and that it would be mutually beneficial for all three of us. But yeah, all three of us must show the initiative if we want to deal with the white player's strong position and progress the game. So let's actually show them another way on how we could deal with the white player, even when the white player doesn't split any armies or troops. It's not a problem at all, because we could still either manual roll him or directly crush some troops into his biggest army. I think this is something that a lot of players don't realize. They usually only consider crushing only a smaller split army of another player. So, hopefully my showed idea to them works and they will follow it. Since the yellow player is strongest, he should be really showing the initiative when it comes to that, as otherwise the game will stalemate again until the white player decides to waste some troops by himself again. I, being twice as weak as the yellow player, shouldn't drastically waste troops on the white player anymore, as because I would just simply be doing the dirty work for the yellow player. But I mean, I just made them aware that this strategy exists, so now it's up to them where to take it, whether they will execute that or will just continue turtling as long as the white player doesn't attack them. I mean, someone must be eliminated that the game would progress. And the most reasonable thing for all three of us would be to team up on white, as his position is not a joke. It would be in the white player's best interest that one of us three would be eliminated, as then it would be so much easier for him to deal with just 2 players instead of 3, and especially if they were more of passive players. I mean, the game is not really going anywhere if just territories of ones are being attacked. We either team up on white, or keep repeating the same useless moves until one of us gets bored and quits the game, so then the white player wins the game. Or we could just wait till the white player makes some bigger attack or even eliminate one of us. But I think that's unlikely that the white player would like to stop holding his one border America's position. Actually, since now I wiped out the blue player's territory from Asia, I'm wondering if it will make the white player to attack blue again, or might even attempt to completely eliminate if he was desperate enough. I honestly don't really expect that, but let's see, who knows. While meanwhile manual rolling the white player's army a bit so to potentially encourage yellow and blue to do the same. Well, actually the white player just crushed the yellow player's army himself, so the yellow player doesn't have to do it anymore himself. But let's hope he will still start crushing some troops into the white player's army or manual rolling it like I do. As the stale situation is continuing too long, I want that we would finally deal with the white player and then would fight it out in the 3-player endgame. A big mistake for white is to probably go for whichever one of us which is strongest. In that way he won't make one of us eliminated, he will just keep equalizing all 3 of us the troop-wise, while ideally the white player would like to get rid of one of us. I was really happy to see the blue player crushing an army of troops to the white player, but I would really like the yellow player do the same. So I've just told yellow to attack white, and with that crushed my newly gotten troops into the white player's army. I mean, even if the blue player is doing that with risking that he could get invaded into one of the African borders, then the yellow player could really do that as well, having much more safer position than him, or basically the best position of all of us three. And that's my boy. I'm so happy to see the yellow player doing that strategy with us. So now all three of us are teaming up on our biggest enemy white. And actually, if we continue doing that, I already see the white player getting eliminated so soon from the game. It seems like the white player's days have been counted. And if in the beginning of the game I told you that someone with a strong one border, America's position, would lose the game first, would you have believed that? That's actually insane. That's actually so strange, the strongest player with one border 7 continental troops continent hold being eliminated first. That is so funny indeed. Well, it looks like the white player is about to do something nasty. And phew, that's not me. Though I kinda feel bad for the yellow player. It always sucks when one of the players throw the game for both of you on purpose. I'm wondering who wins now though. The blue player looks the strongest of us all, looking to the troops counter. The white player with the blue player going after him is dead. But the yellow player could potentially make a comeback if being left alive. Honestly, I'm really tempted to take him out. Just not sure if I should actually go for him. The skill-wise I would definitely outplay the blue player in the two-player endgame, but my question is more whether it would be enough troops. I wouldn't like to weaken myself too much and then not being able to hold bigger continents. So I decided to leave the yellow player alive, but let me know what you would have done in this situation if you were me. Whether you would have taken out the yellow player or not. With the blue player being quite stronger, but with both of his bigger armies being blocked. I think I should have probably gone for the yellow player, especially when the blue player had his troops split in two different armies over combining them into one. And I mean, either way my plan would have been to take over and intend to hold Americas with only one border to guard. I'm wondering what the yellow player does now. He should definitely team up with blue on me now. And alright, while I actually expected him to attack blue's Middle East to unleash one of the blue bigger armies, I didn't expect him to actually invade blue into Africa. So I kinda like it. Though I'm not sure how I feel with the blue player's army being unleashed towards me now. Luckily the blue player didn't attempt to invade me, but now since he combined his armies into one, looks to be very intimidating. Either way I think I should invade him into Africa, and again I could have taken out yellow, but not sure how great of the decision it would have been. What I know though is that the blue player is quite slow, so that would have led me of getting bigger territorial troop bonuses even with him being stronger. So might have actually been good, over the blue player now crushing my biggest army and the yellow player getting chances to win as well. Not sure actually how the game goes now. Never mind actually. While I was potentially expecting the blue player to go for yellow to finish in the second place, I didn't really expect the yellow player to crush his army into blue himself. But judging that he sent me a heart emoji before doing that, I think that he did that to honor our alliance. He probably really appreciated me as an ally, or maybe felt that the blue player is going to take him out either way. But yeah, that's obviously the best that could have happened to me, as now I'm guaranteed to win the game, while back then I could have still lost depending on what the blue player would have decided to do. Now if I get good enough blitz rolls I could actually trap the blue player in Australia and ending up holding both of the Americas, Europe, Africa, and Asia, with having only one border to guard. So to prepare myself to give a final blow to the blue player. And I think that will be it. Now for another classic map gameplay with another insane strategy, I would recommend you watching this video. That's another interesting gameplay,